Hello, you're watching Brothers Broadcasters on MLBBro.com. I'm your host, Timothy McCain, and today we have the pleasure of interviewing Keith McPherson, who works for MLB Network and has his own sports show on The Fan that you can check it out on the weekends. Make sure to please check that out. Keith, thank you so much for giving us a few moments of your time.
Timmy, what's up, bro? Rob Parker, MLB Bro. Appreciate y'all reaching out, man. I've been following MLB Bro since Rob started it a couple years ago, and I think he started it during the pandemic, which is kind of tough, but it's good to see you guys get rolling.
Let's talk about it. When did you first fall in love with the game?
Young, very young. I would say, playing like Little League Baseball, collecting trading cards, watching the 90s Yankees, watching some of the heroes in the 90s like Ken Griffey, Tony Gwynn, Barry Bonds, and obviously with the home run race, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. Very, very little me, very young, I got into baseball.
Actually, I want to talk about that because not only do you have the experience as a young person playing the game of baseball, but your show is more geared to a younger audience. How do you think Major League Baseball can reach out to a younger audience?
They're working on it, and honestly, I'm happy with what I've seen over the last decade or so as far as trying to make the game cool again, trying to reach the younger audience, speak their language, pop up where these young kids can find you on social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and then just, unbuttoning things. I've always said Major League Baseball was too buttoned up, too uptight with their history and some of the things that they've done forever. They were kind of unwilling to change. They were kind of unwilling to adapt to the modern era, and I think they've changed that a bit. I think they're letting players express themselves more, and I think, even with this World Baseball Classic right now, I think that's helping grow the game. And now you've got faces in the game like an Aaron Judge, like Mookie Betts, like a Mike Trout, and these guys are really taking baseball to the next level. I think this past season was a big year for Major League Baseball.
When it comes to the history of baseball, and when you said it was buttoned up, do you believe that one of the things that Major League Baseball can do is incorporate Negro League baseball history and facts into the game?
The history of the Negro Leagues were left out of the baseball history. And since they were left out for so long, it's almost like they weren't real baseball, like they weren't really a part of Major League Baseball. When we know players came from the Negro Leagues into the Major Leagues, we know all about Jackie Robinson, but he wasn't the only guy. I feel like now they are doing better with that. You see Negro Leagues in MLB The Show, video game, boom. That's exactly where you find, the young people at, on Xbox, on PlayStation. Show the Negro League players there. And then even with the Hall of Fame recognizing the Negro League, good, finally, put some respect on it and, put it in the rightful place that it belongs, with the rest of baseball history. So, yeah, I honestly like what they've done in the last couple years to kind of put some respect on the Negro Leagues and the history and not kind of just whitewash it away like it never happened. A lot of times I hear a lot of white radio hosts or analysts that never played any sports, never been around any black people, commenting on black people in a certain type of way. Like, as I was coming up, I always felt like we need somebody in the room that can relate a little differently, that maybe can, speak to both sides. Man, I'm blessed to have the opportunity that I have, and I 100% want to be a role model and an example, right? This is the type of thing where you got to see it to believe it. Of course, it's a dream to get on the radio, but if you don't see anyone that looks like you, you don't think it's open or available to you. Representation matters. And for young black kids, seeing my face on the different advertisements and marquee things, it's like, okay, then maybe there is an opportunity for me if I work hard enough, if I go to school, if I study, if I grind, and I put the time in to build my name and my voice. Maybe I could be the next Keith McPherson.
Where can people follow you on social media?
First name, last name, authentic, real name, no gimmicks. Just Keith McPherson, at Keith McPherson on Twitter. Mostly, that's where I have my biggest following. I'm also on Instagram. I'm gonna kick that back up later when we get to the spring, summertime. I'm on YouTube. I also do Talking Nets podcast, talking about the Brooklyn Nets. That's on YouTube. but really it's WFAN at night. I'm on when the Nets and the Yankees are playing. I'm on late.
That's all for Brothers Broadcasters on MLBBro.com.
MLBBro.com, covering black and brown Major League.